Walking down the street like an alien. They say time will heal, but I don't have patience. You packed your things, now we begin the erasing. All the memories slowly start to fade, and the days move so slow. I know I gotta go, but I can't get anyway. 'Cause I'm still in love. I'm still in love.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my video a little bit different. Instead of doing a voiceover, I thought maybe I'd do a vlog and have you guys hang out with me today while I get some stuff done around the house. I've really been wanting to make some English muffins, so I'm actually going to start with that today. And I have some laundry to fold and put away, and I also really want to get my office organized because my desk is a little bit of a mess. I've had some changes in my life and I'll tell you guys all about it. So let's start with some English muffins today. All right, so to get started on the English muffins, these are the ingredients that we're gonna need. We're gonna need all-purpose flour, some granulated sugar, cornmeal, salt, some active yeast, butter, and whole milk. So the first thing we're gonna do is we are gonna get a bowl with warm water so we can activate our yeast, and then we'll be able to start adding the other ingredients and start getting the dough ready. So to this large bowl, we are gonna take a half a cup of warm water. We'll add that in there, and then we need to take the yeast. I use Fleshman's yeast, and it calls for 1 envelope or 2 1/4 tablespoons of yeast. So we're just gonna do, I meant teaspoons, not tablespoons. 2 1/4. And we also need to add the sugar in here, and this calls for 2 tablespoons of sugar. So 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then we'll mix this up. Let it sit for 3 to 4 minutes and let the yeast activate, and we'll know when it's active when it foams up. So we'll be back when this is active. Okay, so now the yeast is active, and you can tell because it's bubbling up a little bit here. And I'll bring it a little closer so you can see. And that means we're ready to continue adding the rest of our ingredients. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to add the flour. The recipe that I'm using calls for 2 3/4 cups of flour. So I am going to add that now and then add the milk. All right, and we need, I believe it's 2/3 cup of milk. It sure is, 2/3 cup of milk. So I'm gonna add that now, and then I'm gonna start mixing everything together. And I do have some melted butter here on the side. I'm waiting for it to cool a little bit more, and I will add that when this is almost fully incorporated. And I could have used a mixer, but I don't want to overmix this, so I'm going to use my hand and gently start mixing everything in, and then I will start adding the butter when I'm ready to do that step. And I've never made English muffins before. This is actually my first time, and it was requested by my son. He loves English muffins. It's one of his favorite foods to eat for breakfast in the morning with a little bit of cream cheese on top. So I thought I'd give it a try. This could be really good. This could be really bad, but we won't know unless we try, right? So now the dough is starting to come together and we want it to form into a ball. So now that this is starting to combine together, I'm gonna cool enough. We don't want it hot because we don't want to kill the yeast. So we want it warm is okay, hot is no good. So I'm just sprinkling this in and hoping it's cool enough so the yeast doesn't die. So now I'm gonna mix this all in and form this dough into a ball, and then we get to move on to the fun step of making the English muffins themselves. And we do have to let this rise for a little bit. So I'm just gonna finish incorporating everything. All right, that's looking pretty good. I don't want to overdo it. I just want to make sure all the flour is incorporated in here so we're not eating chunks of flour. But we got a pretty good looking dough. All right, so now that we have this all mixed up into a ball, I am going to cover this bowl with some saran wrap and I'm gonna let it sit probably in my microwave because it needs to be in a warm place for 60 to 90 minutes because we want this to rise, at least to double in size before we start working on our English muffins and shaping them. So I'm gonna put this in the oven, and then when it's ready and it's doubled in size, I'll come back and we can start the real. So I know in previous videos, you guys have always seen whenever I come into my office, which I know is very rare, I always have two really big monitors on my desk. And today's gonna be a little different. The monitors are not there because I have changed my life a little bit. I am no longer doing the job that I was doing before. I used to be working full-time at another position. I was lucky enough to be able to be remote, and now I am no longer doing that. I have changed courses to try and do something a little different that's a little bit more flexible and a little easier for my family. So with that being said, my office is strictly going to be for editing content now and editing videos, and I'm very excited to utilize my space still and to utilize it in a way that I truly enjoy and it really fills my cup. But I have some work to do in here. I have stuff all over my desk from just everything that I normally have to deal with, and then working around these big monitors and stuff like that. And now that those are no longer there, I need to readjust my space to make it make sense because I do still have responsibilities. I just don't have the monitors in my way anymore. So I'm just gonna clear up my desk. I'm gonna make it a little bit different. I am gonna bring my laptop in and set it up and get myself all set up so I can start editing my content at my desk versus at my counter because there was no space for my laptop in here. So just gonna start with that in here, and then I would really like to do a deep cleaning in here, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to do that today. I have limited time. I'm still waiting for the dough to rise for the English muffins and get those done, and I would like to get as much done as possible before James gets home from the bus. So I think it's just gonna be a quick cleanup in here, and then I'll have to revisit to do a deep clean because it is on my list to tackle room by room in my house as we go on. But small cleaning as it is, changing the trash can and just maybe giving it a quick vacuum and getting it nice and organized in here so I can come in here with a clear head to be able to give you guys the best videos that I can give you.
So once I got into my office, I quickly realized that all the things I was going through on my desk that needed to get sorted and put away were pretty personal. So I ended up not recording a lot of it because I had to open things up and go through them, and it was just a little more daunting than it needed to be to make sure the camera was positioned in a certain way. So I went through and got rid of all the things that I can't show, and then it made it a little bit more easy to clean up my desk, and it was extremely dusty. I've cleaned it many times and did not realize how dusty it was until I had it completely clear. And I think the monitors have been sitting on this desk for, I don't know, a year and a half, and I've moved them and cleaned, but apparently the dust just collects quickly. I do have a heating vent underneath my desk, so I'm sure that didn't help much at all, but it definitely felt a lot cleaner. And I do mention later in the video I have some other organizing I'd like to do, and I do plan on showing that in future videos. I am going to plan a deep clean of my office and many other areas in my house, and slowly but surely I'm hoping by the summer my house is completely deep cleaned.
I know you've been down thinking about him again. I know that your heart's been broken. You should try and let it go and start being yourself. You can put on your dress, we can play your favorite song, and I will take care of you, care of you, care of you. This is what we need, this is what we have to do. Tell me, can you feel it too, feel it too? Maybe you should go work that body. You should go work that body. The body won't stop till we're great and old. Maybe for a second we can lose control. You should go work that body. Breakups leave the scars, you don't need to be ashamed. Everyone's got their hearts broken sometime. Let's go out and lose our minds, forget all about him. You can put on your dress, dancing to your favorite song. Everybody will sing along, sing along, sing along. So put your hands up, this is what we have to do. Tell me, can you feel it too, feel it too? Maybe you should go work that body. You should go work that body. The body won't stop till we're great and old. Maybe for a second we can lose control. You should go work that body. Maybe you should go work that body. You should go work that body.
So this is what my office is gonna look like from now on. I'm really tempted to change where my printer is. I think I wanna put it over here. I feel like it'll be a lot more sensible now that I don't have two massive monitors in my way. I feel like I'm just gonna shuffle this space around and see how much more useful I can make this space. I can't do it today. I don't have time to do it today, but I'm definitely gonna do it, and I'll make sure that I share that with you guys. But I am kind of loving how much desk space I have now. I haven't had this in quite a while, so it's gonna be real fun. All right, the dough's just about ready. to start getting rolled out. So before I flour the surface, I'm just gonna put some cornmeal down on a cookie sheet. So when I form the biscuits, I can put them here without them sticking. So I'm going to open up my cornmeal because I bought it specifically to make these, and I'm sure I'll find a lot more use for it. But I'm gonna take it and take a spoon, and I'm going to just sprinkle it all over my cooking sheet. Well, and I'm gonna do it generously so I can put everything out here. And get everything from not sticking. All right, I feel like that is gonna be enough. I'm just gonna spread it out a little more. And I'm really hoping that these turn out the way I'm hoping they will. I have really been thinking about getting into making more bread products, and bread, honestly, if you ask me, I think bread is very intimidating and very overwhelming. I want to prove to myself that it doesn't have to be that way, but we'll see how that goes. So now that my dough has doubled in size, I'm going to uncover it, and I'm going to flour my surface here. And to be able to lightly flour my surface, I'm going to use this mini strainer that I have just to evenly coat the surface to get the biscuits shaping. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to take the dough out of here, and I'm gonna plop it here. And I'm gonna get my rolling pin, and I wanna roll this out so it's about 1/2 inch thick, so I can start cutting out my English muffins. You're supposed to use a biscuit cutter. I don't have one because I obviously have never made biscuits, but I do have a plastic ring that I use when I make Uncrustables for my son. So I'm gonna try this. It's about the size of an English muffin, so I feel like we'll make it work. It'll be fine. So I'm gonna get my roller so I can roll this out. And the reason why you have to make this 1/2 inch thick is because you want to be able to re-roll it. So you're using all the dough that you can to make biscuits. All right, I think that's about 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting out my muffins. Okay, and now I'm gonna take these out of here, and I'm gonna put them on the cornmeal to rest. And you're gonna leave them on the cornmeal for about 45 minutes so they can rise again before they're ready to cook. And then once they're ready to cook, they're gonna be great. So I'm gonna see if I can I'm gonna see if I can ball this up, roll it out again. 1/2 inch thick. It doesn't have to be perfect because nothing in life is perfect. And we're just gonna keep cutting like this. So now that these are shaped, I'm gonna let them sit here for about 45 minutes before I start cooking them. I put them all in the cornmeal so they don't stick to this, and we'll see how they turn out when they're done.
So overall, making the English muffins, it took me about 2.5 hours, and that's from the start of making the dough to the completion of cooking them. And honestly, they were really easy to make. It's the patience and waiting for the dough to rise that is a little bit difficult. But I think once I got them all done, they were super easy to make. I can freeze them. My kids absolutely love them. I use them to make breakfast sandwiches. I use them and we can put a little peanut butter on them or some cream cheese, and they love them. They eat them for a snack, they'll eat them for breakfast, they'll ask for them in their lunch boxes, and they were absolutely amazing. The one thing that I didn't show you in the recipe that I made was I completely forgot to add the salt when I added the flour. So I did add it before kneading the dough into the ball and letting it rise the first time, and honestly, that didn't affect the taste of it at all. It evenly distributed and the taste was amazing throughout. And while I was waiting for that dough to rise and the biscuits to finish forming, because I had to let them sit for an additional 45 minutes, I went upstairs and folded my kids' laundry. I am constantly overwhelmed with the laundry, so getting it done and put away in the same day is absolutely so refreshing. It is such an amazing feeling to get it all done and put away in the same day and then be able to not think about it again until the next load needs to be done a few days later.
I don't know your name and I don't feel no shame. I want you close to me, just your company. I'm like this on the regular, I can't take the blame. I'm just here for the night, I want you by my side. In the late, late night with the city lights, keep you safe and sound, always stick around and hold you close to me, keep your company. In the late, late night, only you and I, all we got is time staying inside and hold you close to me. I can be your company, be your company. I can be your company. I can be your company.
All right, I covered them while they rose and let them rise for 45 minutes. So as you can see, they are a lot bigger than when I first cut them out. So now I'm letting the pan heat up on medium heat, and I'm gonna throw these on the pan and cover them and let them cook for 5 minutes on each side. All right, so this has been heating up. It's nice and hot, and I'm still, even though this is nonstick, I'm worried about them burning or sticking. So I'm just gonna spray it with just a tiny coating of avocado oil before I throw these in here. And the instructions say to pick them up very carefully with 2 hands before throwing them in. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just gonna put 4 at a time in here. All right, and I'm just gonna cover them, set a timer for 5 minutes before I flip them, and then do the same and repeat the process until they're done. I think it's safe to say we have a hit. I haven't tried them yet. I'm waiting for my kids so we can all eat them together, but they look pretty legit. They look amazing. I can't wait to try them with my kids. I think they're gonna be great. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that I was able to motivate you to do something around your house today. And if you guys are interested in trying the English muffin recipe, I have the recipe linked down below in the description. You can go ahead and give it a try and let me know what you think. If you're not subscribed, make sure to do so, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.